What's up, y'all? It's Chief Silent Black Hawk. Uh, Back at it with another lesson. Before I start this lesson, I would like some peace and positive energy out to the women out here, all women. Uh, like some peace, love, and light on to them. I would also like some peace and love out to the men out here. Peace, love on to them. Uh, I would also like some peace onto the planet. Peace to the cosmos. I would also like to send peace, most importantly, onto my mother, the queen of heaven and earth, Isis. I would also like some peace, love, and light onto the Orishas. I would also like some peace to the beings that are not in alignment with themselves right now and don't know really who they are and what they are doing. I would like some peace to them. Um, yeah. Um, Basically, tonight I'm gonna talk about spiritual enlightenment. I was told to talk about this today. Spiritual enlightenment. Now I've already talked about it. I've already made all type of videos talk about this shit. Alright. But I gotta repeat myself and put more emphasis on it so you can get what I'm telling you. So I'm connecting, I guess, all the dots, all the pieces of the puzzles. Now, when you looking at your chakra system is breaking down how matter connects together. You have to understand physics and algebra to understand your chakra system. If you don't understand algebra, then you ain't gonna understand why there are shapes to energy. And then if you don't understand physics, you ain't gonna realize how certain parts of matter even come together and why they come together. Or you ain't even gonna realize why a certain part of matter can work on itself without another part connecting to it. Right? So everybody talk about their chakra system and talk about chakras and all this whole shit, all this, you gotta do this, you gotta do it, but they don't even really understand what the fuck chakras is. You have to understand what it is to realize what's going on. Right? So your first chakra is your root chakra. That's the four-point square. That's the earth. Right? That's coming from the red lodge, which is representing the queen of heaven and earth. Right? That's representing her. Right? So if you look at the number four, a four is representing the mother line, but if you turn the four upside down, it becomes a upside down triangle, uh which will represent Earth, right? But the upside down four is really like a jewel, right? Because then you connect that to your heart chakra, because your heart chakra is the fourth chakra, right? Now, if you understand what's going on, the four is really a seven as well. A four is really a seven, right? So the seven is the father line, right? So the seven is representing the left wing of Mayat, right? So the seven, the father line, and then the four is the mother line. So you connect the root chakra energy, the 4-point square, which is the mother line, and then you connect that to your heart chakra, right? Which is your fourth chakra. What you did was you align energies together in its righteous position. Right, because you got your root, you got your sacral, which is water, then you got your solar plex, which is fire. The solar plex energy will be the seven, right? So you connected the root, 4-point square, the sacral, the water, then the solar plex, fire, and then connected that all into one to where you have the fourth chakra, which is activating the Star of David. The Star of David, right, is the water sign, but it's the water sign and the air sign, right? So basically, you connected the flame of knowledge, right? Flame of knowledge and speech, and then you balance that out with the water off the mother line, right? So that's basically what you did. So you connected the dots between the mother line and the father line so they can both balance off one another, right? Because certain people think that the 6 point star, right, represents water, fire, air, earth, and spirit. No, it don't. The 6 point star represents air and water, right? So the reason why it will represent air is because the air is coming off the father line. Man, remember I just told you about the seven. The seven is representing the father line. That's fire, right? In order for your information to be truthful, right, your solar plex energy has to be able to become activated. If it don't become activated, you ain't gonna be able to speak. You ain't gonna know what the fuck you talking about, right? So the air element is representing the flame of knowledge, basically representing the father line speaking in his truth. That's what they represent. And then the water sign is basically you bouncing off the mother line. That's all that's representing. So you bouncing off the left and you bouncing off the right. That's called bumping straight. Right, so this is why your throat chakra energy is the color blue, because that's coming off the father line. That's why that's like that. Right? So then you look at with the Tetradon, and the Tetradon has 7 lines. The reason why the Tetradon has 7 lines because that's coming off the father line, because the Tetradon represents fire. Right? So all that connects uh into one. And why it's like that? Right, because the air element and the fire element is connected together. So when you see the air element, you gonna see the air element in it is gonna represent fire. You see the water element gonna represent earth in the same syllable. Right? So when you understanding how all this shit is connecting together, you'll realize what it means. Right? So enlightenment enlightenment is basically you matching the two energies together, the feminine energy and the masculine energy. This is how you enlighten yourself. But spiritual enlightenment is not, it's not as hard as you think it is, but it's not as necessarily easy as you think it is. It's just based upon what you can really understand. Cause a lot of motherfuckers don't even know what the fuck they doing when they working on their chakras. You don't even know what you're doing. Right? Because you could go into a certain state of energy based upon your chakra and you don't even know what you in. Right? So me speaking right now, me talking and giving you this information, I'm speaking off the father line. This is what I'm speaking off of. Right? But depending on how much information I get and what I can realize and what I can receive, I can speak off the father line and the mother line. That's why my last video I told you it was a 528 hertz energy that I got. So I was speaking off the mother line and the father line, right? Because I connected the two, right? So I balanced out my air and I balanced out the water in me. That's why I was able to speak off both lines. So You gotta be able to balance out the two. Because if you don't balance out the two, you ain't gonna be able to enlighten yourself. It's just what it is. Right? Motherfuckers still want to disagree that God is not no woman. Well, let's look at the science. Because I'm looking at science and I understand what all this shit mean. All the symbols that I'm seeing is feminine. I'm not seeing nothing that's necessarily masculine. Right? And then I'm looking at the numbers. Right? So the 7 is the father line, the 2 is the father line. Right? But the 7 connects to the 4. So the 7 and the 4 is representing the mother line and the father line. Right? So that will be what you would call cane flipping. You flipping one energy to another. Then you flip the 2, you got a 5. The 5 is the mother line, the 2 is the father line. So you flipping energy. You flip from one line to the other. That's how this shit is. Everything is going through the female, right? Everything is going off the woman, but motherfuckers still just don't see it. This is how I can tell if a motherfucker is not enlightened with themselves. I told you, I'm watching motherfuckers that's calling themselves spiritual. But when I'm looking into what they said, they ain't saying nothing that's spiritual though. They still on some third dimensional shit and talking about third dimensional shit. Right? Motherfuckers still going around talking about relationships, bad man. Fuck them relationships, nigga. Worry about who the fuck you is. The reason why you can't work in a situation is because you don't know your fucking self. You can't work in no relationship if you don't know yourself. And they not gonna be able to work with you if they don't know themselves. Right? So you put yourself in a bad situation that you could have avoided had you realized who you was. Right? But that's the shit that motherfuckers don't be wanting to talk about. They just always want to blurt out what a motherfucker did to him, where you allow the motherfucker to do something to you. I don't have no sympathy for motherfuckers like that. If you dealing with a bitch ass nigga or what they would call a fuck girl, nigga, you dealing with what? Hey, nigga, that's on you. You have to be able to be the adult in that situation and get yourself out that motherfucker. That's it. That's all on you. Don't be telling motherfuckers trying to make it like it's bad for you, trying to make yourself feel bad. No, motherfucker, that's all on you. That's all on you, nigga. I don't have no sympathy for that. None. Alright? So motherfuckers have a defect or have a deactivation in their alignment because they don't know how to enlighten themselves. Right? So we could have what you would call ego woke. Ego woke is telling yourself that you know what the fuck is going on, but in reality, you don't know shit. Right? So it's you seeing something, oh yeah, I've been knowing about that. Yeah, I've been knowing about that. And then as soon as you cut that motherfucking camera off, none of that shit you gonna remember in a couple hours. That's ego woke. That's an ego woke motherfucker. And there's a lot of them around this motherfucker. A lot of them. Motherfuckers ain't even tapped in and shit. They just trying to act like they tapped in or something. Right? So it's a deactivation in their alignment because they don't know how to enlighten themselves. Right? So basically, they don't know what to do. So they doing one thing and thinking that's the way to go when the whole time it's not doing nothing for them. All right? So this be the problem and this be the cause, you know. I just be having to repeat myself and because I talked about all this shit before. But this be the problem and this be the cause with motherfuckers. Cause they don't know how to enlighten themselves. Right? Cause I told you, nigga, I eat meat. I'm back eating meat. Shit, that eating meat shit don't change nothing. Right? Motherfuckers be thinking, okay, if you eating something unhealthy, that's gonna lower your vibration. How the fuck does what you eat got to do with your vibration? You are responsible for how you vibrate. So how the fuck can me putting something into my body change on the way I'm perceiving myself and how I'm perceiving reality? That don't even fucking make sense. Right? That's like a motherfucker that can't hold their liquor. Right? So they can't hold their liquor. So this is what caused them to go around and kill a motherfucker. Or put their hands on the motherfucker. Because they can't hold their liquor. When the whole time, the liquor wasn't the problem, it was your mind. So you allowed the liquor to have control over you. So therefore, that's why you acting the way you acting. That don't make sense though. You in control of your mind. You control the way you think, and you control what you say. It's all off of your control. So how the fuck does me putting a piece of chicken in my motherfucking mouth, got to do with my motherfucking mind? It don't got, and the way way I'm going about myself, it ain't got nothing to do with it. All that's ego woke shit. Cause there's a lot of motherfuckers out here that don't eat meat, but they don't know shit. But there's motherfuckers out here that do eat meat, but know a lot of shit. So, you know, it's basically up to you and what you trying to perceive shit as. That's it. Cause a motherfucker say, "Oh yeah, we are not this body. All we is a soul and spirit." All right, so nigga, if you ain't the body, if all you is a soul and a spirit, then why the fuck why are you worried about what you putting into your body that don't represent who you really are spiritually? Why are you worried about it? That don't make sense. That just lets me know that you still don't realize who you are. That's it. Right? So when you're talking about spiritual enlightenment, you have to be able to understand enlightenment and understand what comes with enlightenment. Enlightenment puts you separate from everybody else in the world because you gonna know so much shit to where nothing in the world is gonna seem right to you anymore because you gonna start looking at shit in a totally different spectrum. Enlightenment is you coming back to the realization of who you really are and which you are meant to be in your fullest power. That's enlightenment. Enlightenment is realizing that you are, like I had just stated, you are a soul and spirit manifested into a physical vessel. That's enlightenment. Enlightenment is you not allowing other motherfuckers' energy to affect your energy. That's enlightenment. Right? So you got niggas that be saying they spiritual, but they still letting other people' energy affect theirs. You ain't spiritual. Because if you was really spiritual, you wouldn't even allow that shit to affect you. You feel me? So enlightenment takes you to a whole nother point of existence. Takes you to a whole nother point. Enlightenment ain't just no regular old shit. It's a very powerful thing. Right? Like for me, my feminine brain is developing here on the right side. It's been developing since I'll say probably 2 months ago. It was really starting to develop more powerfully. But I realized the reason why my feminine brain was developing was because I was balancing out my feminine energy. All right, it wasn't even necessarily me sitting and meditating all day. It was just me doing certain feminine things, right, that was causing my consciousness from a feminine perspective to have an activation. Right, so me doing feminine things was me making sure that I'm clean, right? Make sure my hygiene right, make sure I smell right. That's a feminine thing, right? Because you paying attention to who you are and paying attention to, the little things that other people may not pay attention to because I'm a man, I don't, no, I pay attention to that shit. I don't want to walk around smelling like shit all day. I don't play that shit. You feel me? It ain't nothing wrong with a motherfucker smelling right. I'm not about to go around smelling like some bullshit. That's just not me. I ain't never been like that, and never will. You feel me? So, um, by me doing that and me making sure that my hygiene and everything on me straight, that was developing my feminine energy, right? And my right brain was starting to have an activation based off that. Right, and then what I would do is balance out my feminine with my masculine, right? So on the left part of the brain, that's the masculine brain. So I balance that out with having logic, right? Me having logic is basically me realizing that there's a situation that has to be solved, right? Having manners, having discipline. Okay, so if garbage need to be taken out, or if I need to cut the grass because the grass is getting too high, I have more logic in me to realize that it needs to be done. That's logic, but that's masculine. Logic is masculine, right? Realizing that you have to be the leader, you have to be the what they would call the alpha, or you have to be the lion in the situation to make better out the situation. That's having logic. Right? If we are in a endangered type of environment to where I can feel that some shit may kick off, I have logic in me be like, all right, let's get the fuck up out of here. That's logic. Logic is being aware to what the fuck is going on and having enough sense uh, to realizing the solution to it. That's logic. Right, so I'm balancing off the two. I'm balancing off the feminine and I'm balancing off the masculine. So we have something where they would call it bumping straight. Right, so if you bump off the left and you bump off the right, but if you can understand the left bump and understand the right bump in the same sentence, then this is when you bump straight. Right? So you bump to one side, you had to learn that side, then you bump to the other side, had to learn that side, and then after a while you start realizing both sides, and then they start reading off each other, and then that's when you fuck around and bump straight. Right? Because now you understand both sides and what they mean. Because I told you the right part of the brain calls the shots. The right part of the brain, when that activates, the left part of the brain is going to have to read off of it. Right? So the masculine brain is going to have to read off the right and understand what to do with the energy. And then when it reads off of it, then this was when you would activate what they would call your Christ consciousness. The Christ consciousness is basically the God in you. But the God in you is feminine, right? So what you have to do is match the feminine with the masculine to where you can put the both together. So you can be able to have the understanding of who God is and who is God's representatives. You are the representative of God being the man. Right? So your whole job and your whole mission as a man is to serve to God, which will be the woman, which will be the queen of heaven and earth. You know? So that's the representation of that when you activate your Christ consciousness. That's what all that should mean. And the 6-point star, the Star of David, that's a reflection of that. Because you remember the Star of David was the symbol of Christ. Now I just explained why that was the symbol of Christ, because air and water, the father line and the mother line. You see how you see how I connected the two the way I probably lost you for a minute, but you see how I connected everything together. You feel what I'm saying? But that's what this shit mean though. So when we're talking about spiritual enlightenment, enlightening yourself comes with discipline, balance, and manners. Right? You have to be able to discipline yourself and understand when it's a time to react and when it's a time not to react. I talked about this before in my video I made, I think, last month, talking about logic and how sometimes it's not cool to react to something. Sometimes the situation not really that serious to react to something. Right? And then you have moments where it is time to react to something. Right? But it's up to you to realize what you need to do in that situation. It's up to you. You know. You know. But discipline is probably the most difficult thing to some people because, like I've said, we have been trained, and our natural reaction is to react, right? We don't know to walk away from certain things. We don't know that because we haven't been taught it. We haven't been taught to walk away from shit. We always been told to always handle it. And in certain times you do handle shit. Don't always run away from shit. Hell nah. But it's times where you can run, walk away from something because it ain't that serious. You feel me? So whatever time that you are attracted to something, right? Something is something that you attracted to, like sex. Let's say sex, right? A lot of us men, we are attracted to sex, right? It's something that is the evolution of life, but it's something that has to be uh, used correctly, and it has to be a form of maturity used in that, and discipline, right? So a lot of men don't have the discipline to say, no, I don't want no pussy back. Right? Oh, no, I don't want no coochie. I don't want none of that cat. I'm good. A lot of niggas don't have no discipline to say that. Because in their mind, oh, nigga, I'm the gayest motherfucker in the world. Nigga, I just turned down some pussy. I'm crazy. Right? Without even realizing, like, hey, I mean, I'm not one of them type motherfuckers that's always gonna want it. I have discipline. I don't want it today. I'm good. That ain't where my energy at. You know, I'm gonna do some other shit today. I'm gonna go work out. I'm gonna stretch. I'm gonna do some other shit, and that's cool. That don't make you weak. That don't make you a gay motherfucker or bitch ass motherfucker. That's just ain't what you want. You good, right? But a lot of motherfuckers just don't have that discipline to do no shit like that, or go read a book or some shit. A nigga can't even lay in a bed with a girl without thinking about some nasty shit. Right? Because your mind, you nigga, I got a girl in bed and she, ooh, nigga, I gotta here, nigga, I gotta do something. I can't just sit here and not do, nah, I gotta do something. That's what motherfucker gonna think. Motherfucker ain't gonna think, oh no, we can sit here and talk or shit. We can, we don't gotta start fucking. We could do something else. But a nigga ain't got that. A nigga ain't got that type of discipline because a nigga think, oh, that's square, oh, that's no, that's being a disciplined motherfucker. You don't have to always react to something. You don't always have to. It's a time to, like I said, react, and it's a time not to react. But always have discipline, because even if you react, you have to have discipline in your reaction. Right? Because when you react to something and you have gave the reaction you need to give, you have to know when to stop yourself. If you don't know when to stop yourself, then you don't have discipline. Right? So that would mean you have to work on yourself a little bit more. And learn how to manner yourself and correct yourself. You know. And that goes for anything you do. You gotta have discipline and manner. You have to. That goes for anything. Cause all that's doing is developing you. That's developing your brain. That's developing your mind. Because one brain is gonna tell you to react. Then the other brain gonna tell you not to react. But if you don't understand what both parts of the brain is telling you, you ain't gonna know what the fuck to do. Right? Then you gonna think your brain is lying to you. Your brain just trying to, have you down, have you into some shit when your mind is trying to tell you something. Right? This is why we be telling people that us hurting each other and, gang banging and hurting each other, that's not who we are. Right? Because by you being on that type of energy, you vibrating in one brain. You using one part of the brain. Because when you out here doing what you doing, it's a lot of anxiety and it's a lot of fear and it's a lot of anger. Right? Because you got to watch over your shoulder because you out here in the streets doing what you doing. You worried about a nigga coming to do something to you. Motherfucker may try to stab you. Motherfucker may try to shoot you. Motherfucker may try to, sock you in your shit. Motherfucker may try to do anything. Right? So you continuously in a fear state. It don't matter if a little motherfucking kid or shorty walk up to you, nigga, you looking at them like they got something on them. That's a fear state. That's a state that's not natural to our people. You feel me? So you be niggas that's walking around with that type of energy in their mind and they think it's normal. They don't see nothing wrong with that, but that's not normal. Right? Because you gonna think that every motherfucker is against you when a lot of motherfuckers ain't against you. The only motherfuckers that's against you is the motherfuckers that you did something to. And they against you because you did something to them. Right? But you try to make that like that's everybody. Everybody against you. No, it's only a certain motherfucker you into it with. Right? So what a lot of our people do, we walk around with these fear states and these anxiety states and we think that's some normal shit. That ain't no normal shit. It's not. Us walking around getting back hurt, killing motherfuckers, that's not our shit. That ain't what we do. Now we ain't no scary motherfuckers. We ain't scared to do something to a motherfucker, but that's not what we want to walk around doing. Cause it don't have a purpose to it. You know, that's just not how we do. That's not who we are as a people. you know, disrespecting one another. That ain't. We don't do that. We don't even, as a people, we never even cracked on each other, right? Cause niggas they like cracking on each other. We never even did that. Because by you cracking on somebody, that means that you have a self issue with yourself because you want to pick on people. It's something that's wrong with you. So anybody you look at, you always gonna point out something that's wrong with them to try to feed your own issue. Right? That's a psychological problem that you have. Right? But you would think, oh no, it's just a joke. I don't mean what I'm saying, but at the same point in time, nah, it is it's something truthful behind that. Cause you want to sit around cracking on motherfuckers. You have a problem. Right? So we didn't even do shit like that. We would never sit around and talk about how a motherfucker dress or how a motherfucker look or how their hair is. We didn't do that. That's not us. Right? So this is why I can see certain motherfuckers that say they us, but they, doing shit like that. I can tell the motherfuckers ain't us. That's not how we do. That's not. We didn't even sit around talking about sex and shit. We didn't even do shit like that. We didn't do none of that type shit. That's what I said. If you don't know your people, you ain't gonna know what the fuck you are. You most definitely you ain't gonna know the land. because you don't know who created this motherfucker. You know, so when it's uh when we coming in to the age and the statement and acknowledgement, I mean of enlightenment, um you have to have an understanding of it and how you enlighten yourself. It ain't just the shit that motherfuckers will tell you. It's the little shit that will help you enlighten yourself. This is why in my last video I talked about being a developing chief on the land. In order for you to develop as a chief on the land, you have to go through certain things, right? You can't respect or believe in the motherfucker that ain't never went through nothing. How the fuck am I gonna respect you or look at you as somebody if you ain't ever went through shit? You have to go through something because going through something builds character, right? You know, like for me, I've seen, some shit that, probably not right, but hey, it builds character and I don't have no problem with it. Especially you from the hood, you gonna see a lot of type of crazy shit. Crackheads, you gonna see a motherfucker probably selling pussy, you gonna see a motherfucker getting pimped, you gonna see a motherfucker out here probably getting down on motherfuckers. You gonna see a lot of shit, but that builds character. It's not necessarily bad for you, it's building character, right? And then that allows you to realize the problem in our community, and then later on you could build yourself up to have a solution to stop it, right? So um developing as a chief is being put in situations, right, where you have to learn from them. And that's what's happened to me. And for me, I ain't no sucker ass nigga. I ain't gonna run away from nothing. I'ma deal with it, period. And that's why I have developed, the way I needed to develop, because I just deal with shit. Something could be wrong with me, but I would never tell you. I just keep shit to myself, you know. But that's just how it is. Alright, so developing yourself, having the discipline, mannerism, structure, um, is what develops enlightenment. Use every day as a enlightenment practice every day. One day you wake up, read a book. Next day you wake up, shit, work out, work on your body, work on yourself. All right, the third day, shit, work on meditating, work on balancing out your energy. Work on elements, work on certain things that's helping you develop as a person. And all that's gonna do is pitch you where you need to be in your enlightenment stage. One day work on your feminine, just do feminine shit, like far as make sure you right, you clean, not doing no gay shit. I'm saying, make sure you right, make sure you got a clean environment. Make sure your room clean and your house clean. Make sure you smell right. You know. Then another day, work on your masculine energy. Work out. You feel me? Do some masculine shit. Go play ball. Go. Go do something. Balance out the two. That's building character. And then have discipline over the two. Like I'm saying. Cause the more you do that shit, you just gonna naturally be where you need to be. Cause you might not even notice it because you've been doing it so much. You gonna just naturally bump straight. That's how it happened for me. Cause for me, I'm bump straight. Period. I ain't one of these sorry ass niggas out here, man. I'm a bump straight. I'm not like these other niggas, man. I'm not. And I'm young, very young. But if you get to know me, you get to talk to me, you be like, nah, that nigga can't be the age that he's saying. Yeah, I'm that age. It's just, I got discipline. That's it. I'm not just gonna let myself, you know, be involved in some sucker shit that I don't fuck with. You ain't gonna ever catch me on here talking about bitches and hoes, and I don't talk like that. Now, if a female do some fucked up shit to where it's stopping the growth of our people, then yeah, you a bitch. Cause you trying to stop something that's helping your ass be more respected, right? So then yeah, you a bitch. But just out the gate, hell no, I ain't gonna disrespect you. I ain't gonna disrespect no man until he go against my respect. And then we have a problem. But if you come at me respectful, I'm gonna come at you respectful. I done already put the pieces together to what I had to tell you for enlightenment. I basically was just saying shit. Well, not just saying shit, but, you know, because I already put the pieces together. Um, um, also, you have to understand and realize that meditation is not just something to where you just sitting on your ass and shit, right? Meditation is a practice, right? You can do a lot of different things and you be meditating. Like martial arts is another form of meditation because what you doing with martial arts is you balancing out energies, right? So you learning how to maintain water, fire, and air. You're learning how to maintain that all in one. That's a form of meditation, right? Because you can actually get information while you're doing that. So just say you practicing certain martial arts, right? And you talking to your ancestors at that same time. You can get information back. Because what could happen is by you um, working on those certain practices, right? You dealing with certain elements. So a certain ancestor has a certain element, right? So you can develop the connection between you and say you can develop the energy between you and Oshun, which is dealing with the water element. right? So if you balancing out the water in you, right, balancing out that energy enough and understanding it, and you talking to her, you can build the connection between her, right? That would be a form of meditation. So she could pass messages through you because you balancing her element. So she's speaking to you directly, right? Or you can uh, do that with another Orisha. Do it with Ogun, right? Dealing with his element. You know, you could do that. You could do that with a lot of you know, different ancestors. You know, but you have to realize that about meditation. It ain't just about sitting down. You know, and doing it that way. It's a lot of different ways of meditation. You can walk and meditate. Just do a little walk, meditate, talk to your ancestors, they give you, you know, information, all that. It's a lot of different ways, right? But people be thinking that it's only one way because that's, you know, how they've been told it is. It's a lot of different ways. You can even have a meditation type of connection through sex if you know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing and you know how to maintain your energy uh, in that situation, you can meditate through that. You know, but you know, it's all about you developing that skill. You have to develop that skill in order to be able to know how to do that shit. Because for certain people, meditation takes time out their day, right? Because you got to sit down, you got to gather all your energy together, but you gathering all your energy together just for that one moment. What about the rest of the day, right? Your energy got to be high, you know, through the rest of the day. It can't just be for one moment, right? So if people doing it only one way, that mean their energy ain't right because they only relying on one position to be able to get the energy from the source. Nah, you nigga, you get that off of doing anything. You know that's righteous. You get that. It ain't just one way. You know, so certain people certain people will have a problem with that. You know, and they won't understand how that shit work. You know, but that's what you got to do. Try different methods. Use certain different practices, and that'll be able to develop your energy with that with the meditation or your vibration, you would say. You know, because being spiritual don't have nothing to do with you eating. It don't got shit to do with you wearing. It don't got shit to do with how you look. It's just all about what you can realize and what you can understand, right? Because I talked about this as well. You got niggas going around, right, that's still saying that the white man is the devil or the white woman is the devil. These niggas don't have no clue who the devil is. We all blaming white folk, right, when we don't even realize that it's been white motherfuckers that was helping us. Shit, damn that throughout this whole motherfucking entire time. I already told you about Hitler. I already told you he was on our side, right? That's why they had the Jewish community. They tried to get on my ass about that shit because them niggas knew I was right. I already told you. And who was Hitler? He was German. That nigga didn't have our skin complexion, but he was on our side. The reason why I knew he was on our side is because I looked at the symbols. The swastika, the 9 and the 6. Right? So I understand what he's representing. And then the color. The red, that's coming from the red lies. Representing the Queen of Heaven and Earth. Right? So he on our side this whole time. It's also why he invaded France. Because we was into it with them as well. They ain't on our side as well. They them dirty more motherfuckers. So this nigga working on our side the whole time, right? But we don't see it because he white. He ain't got our skin complexion, right? So this is all was tying back to now to where we think only spiritual people is motherfuckers that look like us. Nah, it's motherfuckers that's spiritual that don't look like us and they tapped into certain shit, right? Because some of them have our bloodline, right? So motherfuckers be thinking it's only one way to be and it's only one specific amount of people. Well, nah, it's a couple motherfuckers, right? This is why I don't see no problem with one of our people dating somebody that's not a part of their race. What's wrong with a nigga dating a white woman? If this white woman makes him feel good, right, from a loving perspective, and she makes him feel at peace with himself, then what the fuck is the problem? What's the problem? Right? But we built this type of, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? This perception in our community that if you a brother, you got to be with a sister. If you a sister, you got to be with a brother. If you ain't with your same kind, then you going against your people. That's what they want you to think. But how am I going against my people just because I'm not dating a motherfucker that look like me? That may not just be what what I want. I may find somebody that's better than that. Or not better than my own race, but somebody that make me feel good. You know? A lot of motherfuckers don't want to date hood rats. A lot of niggas don't want no hood rats. A lot of niggas don't want that. A lot of niggas want somebody that's a little bit more peaceful. A lot of niggas don't want to be with somebody and they always arguing. Certain niggas don't want that. Right, so if this nigga or if she choosing or if he choosing to be with somebody that's not, in their own community, you know, it could be a reason for that. It could be for a certain personal reason they have. Not because they don't like their own race. It could be, for other reasons. And then the person they may be with, they may be in tune. They may be really in tune and they may be righteous. They may want to see our people rise again. You just never know. But if you judging them and pinning them down based upon the color of their skin, you wouldn't realize that. So we've been told to point the finger at the white man when he ain't the one doing the bullshit. It's the niggas. It's the nigga that look like us that's doing the bullshit. But we just too ignorant to see it. Right? Because who is you to tell another race that they ain't shit, that they don't belong? Who is you to tell them that? Yeah, we was the first ones here first, our people, my people. But who is you just to tell them just because they wasn't here first that they don't belong? Who is you to tell them that? You know, that ain't no shit you do. If you say you a spiritual person and you all about love and peace, then why the fuck is you judging motherfuckers? That mean you ain't spiritual. That mean you ain't about love and peace. Cause you judging motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck what color you is. I don't give a fuck what culture you come from. I don't give a fuck how you look. If you righteous, then I fuck with you. If you ain't righteous, then I don't fuck with you. That's it. If you a white girl and I have a connection to you on a sexual level, yeah, I'll talk to you. Yeah, I'll date you. I don't have no problem with that. If you Asian, Mexican, it don't bother me. It's just all about where you at consciously. That don't mean I'm a disgrace to my own community, nigga. It's just, hey, it is what it is. I'm going off of how they are mentally rather than just looking at their skin color. That's it. You know? So a lot of niggas, out here, they need to stop that shit. That shit corny as a motherfucker. And all you doing is making the community look bad because then you making it like we just some racist motherfuckers out here that don't give a fuck about nobody but our own. And it ain't even like that. You know. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm about to go ahead and get off here though. I said enough. Uh I would like to send peace to the women out here, peace to the men, peace to the Queen of Heaven and Earth, Isis, all the Orishas, peace to the planet, peace to the cosmos, one conscious mind to another. We all got each other. Great minds think alike. Two great minds is greater than one, but one great mind is greater than no mind at all. One mind tells all, but two minds speak a little. With that being said, peace to the Black Hawks out there. Peace to the youngest out there. Peace to the elders. That being said, y'all be safe out here. Peace.